Take 3. Here we go. Final one, hopefully. Okay, so more of Doctor Who. So Doctor Who, Series 1, Disc 1, Episode 2. Remember, do you guys know the name of it? The End of the World. How do you think the world would end? Like, seriously, everybody's got different ideas of how it could end. You know, the sun exploding, global warming, all that stuff. You know, maybe that could cause the world to end. You know, it's a natural part of life that people die, like, every day. And for those that, like, have some sort of, like, Christian faith or belief, you know, like, you know, from the Bible, the world's gonna end at some point. We just don't know when. Only God does. We don't. Which is a good thing. I don't think I could live my life knowing when it's gonna end, unless I knew it was, like, not during my lifetime. But then I think I would, like, be really sad and worried about, like, all these other people, and I might not want to have kids someday because it's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be during their lifetime, or no, it's gonna be during, like, their my great grandchildren's lifetime, you know, like that sort of thing. So yeah, you never know when the planet's gonna end, or how. Oh yes. So I found it interesting when the doctor said that the planet was empty when he was talking to Rose, and they were watching the sun, you know, coming towards the Earth, and like she was so like depressed about that, and I'm just thinking, it's empty. The planet's dead. There's nobody there. You know, don't feel sad. Like everybody's already gone. And I don't know, like, I think if I had that opportunity, like, aliens existed and, like, we were all friendly with each other and, like, so many different things, I don't know, I'd probably run off with a freaking alien. I mean, there's nobody here that I can run off with, so I might as well run off with an alien. At the beginning, they're exchanging gifts, and I just love how the doctor exchanged air from his lungs. He's just, like, looking for something to give, and he's just like, oh, air from my lungs. And, like, there's, like, one part, he's like, for the, what is it? The remembrance of me? Remembrance me? I don't know. Whenever I heard it, I think I kept thinking Despicable Me. And he's going like, you know, so funny. Just like, yeah, that's a great gift. Air from your lungs. All the different aliens in one episode on one spaceship. I was like, I think I would have been overwhelmed as much as Rose was. You know, it's cool seeing all that, but at the same time, it's like, I've never been on a spaceship before. I've never met an alien before, except for the doctor, but the doctor looks normal. And, you know, I'm all of a sudden being introduced to a bunch of them that look different, that have different colors, that have different faces. It's like, all so overwhelming. But I think, like, the artists, the styles who, like, the people that came up with this are, like, genius, like, coming up with these different looks for aliens and stuff instead of, like, that typical green alien. I mean, obviously it's Doctor Who. They have to come up with something more extreme than your normal typical Martian that we think of. So, I mean, just that one episode, I guess I never realized how many aliens there were. And, of course, we have Cassandra, who always likes to say, moisturize me, moisturize me. I don't know why I said it in that voice, but I say that a lot, like a lot, when I'm like washing my face, spraying down my hair with some water or whatever. And sadly, no one in my house is into Doctor Who, so I am the only one that like gets that reference, and it's so sad. You know, I always loved it when I was around my friends that knew Doctor Who, and I would say those references, and they would get it. It was like made my day. But of course, you know, I'm sorry, my cat's being weird. I don't have anyone yet right now. I don't even know if my best friend is still into Doctor Who. I should ask her. I haven't talked about Doctor Who with her in a while. I talked to her last night, just didn't talk about Doctor Who. So yeah, I like say that like all the time. And the other reference with the companion Martha Jones, where the episode is like, burn with me, Martha. I'm like, oh my gosh. And like I always say that too, but nobody gets the reference. I want to meet someone that like totally gets the reference. Okay, Oh yeah, where Cassandra, like, it comes as this, what do they call it, a jukebox or whatever. It like comes in, and here's the third cat. It comes in, and she's like, this is an iPod, and then she shows the egg. This is an ostrich egg, and then she describes its wings as like 50 feet and breathes fire, and I'm like, yeah, hon, you're talking about a phoenix here? Like, seriously, that is not an ostrich. Oh yes, I would have to say my favorite character from this episode, side character, was the blue plumber lady. I could not for the life of me catch her name when I was watching it, and it was so sad. Like, she only had like those, what, like 3 minutes of fame, and then she dies. Like, those little robotic thingies like pulled her through the vents and she was gone. I'm like, no. She had such a sweet smile, and I loved how she just was so grateful for Rose for giving her the permission to speak. I loved that. And so I was really sad to see her go. I know in every episode there's always that one character, main character, side character for that one episode, and like they either like survive in the end but you never see them again, or they die and you never see them again. Happens a lot in Doctor Who. I don't know what this note means. I don't know what that note means, so yeah, whatever. The doctor and Rose had their first couples fight. They so did. You know, when they were in the room alone, cause she got like all like nervous, you know, overwhelmed is the word I'm looking for. And they start talking, you know, like the TARDIS got inside her head and does the whole translating thing. And they start bantering back and forth. And it was just like, oh my gosh, it's like the first couples fight right here. It's like, even without them knowing, they're totally a couple. And they were having an epic couples fight right there. I was like, oh my gosh. Here's another note I don't think I understand. Like, I don't know. Apparently it's a quote by Doctor Who, but I don't know. By Doctor Who? By the Doctor. By the Doctor that I don't understand. The face of Bo. I never realized how much in this episode they really wanted you to focus on the face of Bo and actually remember his face. I swear, like, every transition of the scenes, it would like pass over him, and then he became like a main character, sort of like when Cassandra was like blaming the face of Bo, even though she knew she was the guilty one. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And obviously he becomes an epic character later on, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I never had noticed in this second episode alone on how much they concentrate on him. Concentrate, I don't think that's the right word. Oh yeah, I like how Cassandra said she was pure and she had 708 surgeries. I'm like, how does that make you pure? You had 708 surgeries and you're like a mat of flesh. Like, that's just disgusting. I would want to die at that point. Like, there's no way. You know, I'm gonna get old, I'm gonna get wrinkles and stuff, and it's gonna happen naturally, you know. I'm good with it. I don't want to become a mat of flesh. Oh yes, Cassandra said that, and she's fighting with, she's arguing with Rose, and Rose calls her a bitchy trampoline. Loved it. I loved it when she called her that. I never noticed that before, and it was so funny. I loved it. I had to laugh. Like, I really don't swear all that much, but I loved it when she called her a bitchy trampoline. It was so funny. It was really funny. Oh yes, when the doctor hears someone screaming from the door because the shields are up, and he's like, is somebody in there? Oh my gosh, there's like so much pounding upstairs. I'm so sorry. I am gonna go see what's going on. I'm back. Oh yeah, so the doctor was he was trying to figure out who's behind the door, and all of a sudden she's like shouting, and he was like, oh, it would be you. I'm just like, yeah, duh, you know, she's your companion, she's gonna get into trouble and you gotta rescue her. It was just really funny how they how he said that. It's so funny. Rose's theme song, I love her theme song. Her theme song is amazing, and I didn't even know that they introduced it in the second episode. The second episode, didn't even notice that they introduced it in the second episode, because I do believe it is called Rose's theme song. I want to say I saw that somewhere. Might have been when I was watching like the special features stuff, or in the soundtrack. I bet it was in the soundtrack, because I used to have the soundtrack on Spotify. I don't anymore, but I used to. I love it when the doctor says, full of ideas, bristling with them. I'm just like, it's more of that British language, bristling with them. I just love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could like actually remember this stuff and use it like every day. Like, oh yeah, the final thing I like is that the quote that doctor says, everything dies, everything has its time. I thought that was very interesting, especially when Cassandra's like, I'm too young, and then she blows up. He's right though, like, everything dies, everything has its time to end, and it's time to say goodbye, and it's time to move on, and not become a bitchy trampoline. Or a skin mat. Like, seriously, a skin floor mat. That's exactly what comes to my mind. So anyways, that's all for that one. I did watch the third one actually, but I won't talk about that to the next episode. To the next video. If I do, maybe I'll talk about something different. I'm not sure. So anyways, my cat's trying to play with my feet. Come here. Hey. Come say hi. Not gonna come. You know, that's the cat. There we go. Say hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you purring. Are you purring? Yeah. This is Moxie. Okay, I'll put you down. Oh, are you gonna stop it for me like you did in the last one?